Hello guys, welcome back to Kentucky Home Garage. Today I have a 2009 Nissan Altima with a 2.5 liter engine, and I've been working on this car for the last couple hours. Actually yesterday I worked for a couple hours, and this morning it's kicking my butt. Okay, I don't say this very often, but this thing drives me nuts. The customer complained, this is a very well maintained car. This is a friend of mine. I've been taking care of this car for quite some time, and he was on the way to work. Yesterday he filled up the full tank of fuel, and he drove it maybe 30-40 miles, and all of a sudden the car just stopped, just stalled. He would restart, he would run for maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and it would shut off. The only trouble code I have, it's a P0300. I just checked my temperature sensor is good, my coolant temperature sensor is good. Basically it would run for a couple of seconds, and it would shut off. So let me show you that. Okay, so as we could see, it runs for a couple of seconds, runs like crap, and then just shuts off. Now, what I did yesterday, I started adding some propane in intake to see if I have a fuel delivery issue, and sure enough, once I started adding the propane, car start running. So let me get that. I got my propane. I'm gonna pull my hose here. I'm just gonna start adding a little bit of fuel, and let me start it up. Okay, so we can see that I definitely having a fuel delivery issue. Runs with with the extra fuel. So my next step was to check my fuel pump. Well, I can't check my fuel pressure because this car doesn't have a trailer valve on it. So what I did yesterday, luckily the access to fuel pump, we can access it to the back seat. So I checked my current ramp on the fuel pump. I'm having a 4 amps, which is pretty good, and the fuel pump looks okay. So let me get you guys to current ramp on the fuel pump, and then we'll go from there. I just have to shut it off for now. So for now, when I shut off the fuel, it's dead. It's dead in water. Okay. So now this car has these little fuses, and luckily back in the summer I made my fuse loop. Otherwise I couldn't do any of these testings. This is what I made. I'm gonna make one video how I made this little gadget. This saved my butt, because without this I couldn't do anything. So okay. So first I'm gonna get my fuel pump. Current. And I did check my my power and ground. The spec for this car is 50 psi, and you know, like a rule of thumb is for every 10 psi of pressure, you need a 1 amp of current. So 4 amps, it's pretty good to me. I think that's okay. So let me get my my amp clamp, and you know, the fuel pump looked pretty healthy, and this threw me off the loop this whole time. I'm looking at the you know, fuel delivery issue. I was this close to call in the fuel pump, which was like around $400, and so anyway, let me get you guys on. I'm gonna start this thing again. Okay, so there's my fuel pump. Looks pretty healthy. I'm having a around let's see, 4.3 amps of current, which is pretty good. I mean, the pump looks pretty decent. I mean, I could check my speed on a fuel pump and all that, but I don't know, I don't think it's necessary. So so this tells me that my power and ground on the fuel pump is okay, and so and you know, the biggest problem is, you know, I don't have my you know, I cannot adapt my this car doesn't have a Schrader valve, so I cannot get my fuel pressure gauge on it. So well, let me the next what I'm going to do, I'm going to check current ramp on my fuel injectors to see if the fuel injectors are working, and we'll go from there. I'm just going to so this is very frustrating case. I mean, it just drives me crazy. But as soon as I turn my propane, the thing is gone. So, all right. So my next, you know, I want to make sure that all of my injectors are working. And actually, what I did yesterday, I took like a screwdriver, and I would listen to each injector. All the injectors are, you know, firing. Okay, start this again. Okay, so let's look at the, let's see my current ramp on my fuel injectors. They all look pretty good. So I'm pulling like a little bit over, like let's see, maximum 1.7 amps. So that's fine. Let me go to 15 milliseconds. Stop it. And now we can see that we're pulling around like a little bit over 1 amp of current for each injector, and that's 1 amp, so that's okay. You guys can see that, yeah. And each injector is firing fine. We can see that you know, I have each injector, they all go to 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's okay. As I said, I did check my, you know, I would take a screwdriver just to see if they, you know, if they're opening or not. And we can see that each injector does have that little hump. I know it's kind of hard to see. I didn't get good resolution here, but come on, baby. You know, injectors are okay. So now, what I'm trying to figure out, you know, why is it, you know, that with this, when I'm adding the propane, you know, I'm basically bypassing fuel injectors. I'm just adding the fuel in a, let me shut it off. Like my okay, so I know this is not good resolution, but you can see there's a hump on each injector. So my injectors are working okay, and so I don't see any problems there. So now, you know, yesterday I'm thinking now, okay, what am I missing here? You know, I'm thinking maybe that you know, do I have a low fuel pressure, or am I having you know, let me show you guys here what I did. You know, and I got down to my fuel pump, and I did that's the fuel pump right there, and I was I disconnected the fuel pump, and I was able just to put my fuel gauge to the fuel pump, and I have 50 psi of pressure, but I couldn't check pressure at my fuel rail because I don't have a shader valve and I don't have a special adapters. But then I'm thinking, okay, I mean, even then, even if I have a maybe, my next thought, maybe I have a clogged up fuel line. And but this is a newer car, the plastic fuel tank. I don't expect to see any kind of you know, rust, plug in the fuel injectors, and that didn't make any sense to me as well. So I'm thinking maybe the bad fuel, and since he filled the fuel tank of fuel yesterday, drove the car for maybe like a couple hours, and then this happened. So last night I pumped a sample of the fuel out of fuel tank just to see if there's going to be some kind of water, or maybe, you know, ethanol or something in a fuel, and I left it overnight, so that did not. Here's my fuel. It looks very good. I got nothing there. I mean, I see nothing in it, so that the fuel is fine. And I'm thinking, you know. So my next thought would be, okay, do I have a, you know, as I'm adding the fuel in a system, do I have a vacuum leak? Well, I could hear that. I mean, that would be a massive vacuum leak that would affect my fuel delivery, and I did, just for a heck of it, last night I also smoked the engine, and of course that didn't reveal anything, and it didn't make much sense. But sometimes you just kind of bumping your head against the wall and try to, you know, figure something out. And now this morning I plug in my scan tool. I just want to check my coolant temperature sensor and my idle air temperature sensor to make sure they're matched, and they're fine. I was in a garage, it was like 55 degrees, so that was okay. My map sensor reads okay, and so, you know, right now I'm kind of lost. I have good fuel injectors. I have a good fuel pump. I got a good fuel pressure. I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna show that. Basically what I had, I disconnect the fuel pump, and I just kind of adapted a fuel, like a hose, and I was able just to energize the fuel pump just to see what kind of pressure it's getting, and it was at the 50 psi, and it was holding the pressure. So my check valve was good on the fuel pump as well. So no check engine light other than random misfire. So it was really, I couldn't really, I didn't sleep last night trying to figure out, trying to find the next direction where to go. And so my last thought will be to check my mass airflow sensor, the reading of my mass airflow sensor. And I check in my VARs. I do not have a spec, what needs to be at the idle. And basically they just tell you to rev the engine up and see the sweep on your lab scope, but it doesn't tell you what reading should be, what voltage is supposed to be at the idle, what's supposed to be at the wide open throttle. So let me get that set up. And one other thing also, what I was looking at it, this morning, it was my injector pulse. I'm thinking if the computer is not receiving the good input, my injector pulse is going to be low, and it was around 10 milliseconds, and that should be plenty of fuel, that should be enough current. Enough current for the fuel injectors to spray the fuel. 10 milliseconds, to me that was okay. So the next, I'm gonna check my mass airflow sensor, and let's see what kind of reading I'm gonna have from that. And let's see here. So I'm on a component information, and let's see what it has. It tells me key on engine running, open throttle slowly as engine RPM and air intake increases. MAF voltage should increase smoothly with no dropouts or glitches, which I didn't expect any to see, because most of the time if there is a glitch on the mass airflow sensor, you would have a code for the mass airflow. So the next step, I'm going to check my mass airflow sensor. And again, I don't, sometimes you just don't have a good spec to know what you're supposed to have. And the signal wire it has 6 slots on it, one is empty, so my orange wire is my signal. And let's see. I'm gonna open up my tube again. Let's start it up. And I have I'm still learning my new toy. So I got a 1 volt, so you know, I'm not sure is that enough or not. It seems a little low to me, and I'm gonna rev the engine up a couple of times. Well, I mean, I don't see. I mean, it's kind of, it's a lot of harsh in a signal, seems like, but I don't know. It's not really. I don't think this seemed to me a little bit too much of a. Look at that. Let's do this again. So this is why I believe mass airflow sensor is messing me up. I mean, this is not normal. I don't think that's this much of a harsh on the signal, and I expected to see this peak actually being a higher, I believe. I'm not sure about that, but this is a little bit concerning to me. So let's go back. Component information. Let's see. Okay, and this is where Varus or Snap-on saved my butt. It said you know, the difficult push lock tab. It said check for debris, and let's do that. Okay, now look what's in here. I know the camera's gonna pick this up or not, but I have a freaking bug stuck inside my mass airflow sensor. Look at that. Isn't that cool or what? I mean, how about that? So this whole time, you know, it kind of threw me off the loop, you know, trying to figure out what. So now I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and I have to be very careful. I don't want to, so that I don't damage my mass airflow sensor, but I'll get you guys back on it again once I get this cleaned up. I have to be careful and get this dig out, so we'll see what happens later. Well, there you go, guys. There's my guy right there. Look at that. This is awesome. It's a little mosquito, I guess. I don't know. Or flying something. Okay, I'll get rid of it. Alright, so I got the mass airflow sensor back in. I got my meter on. I checked the signal. Let's get it started up. Awesome. So let's see what signal should look like. I'm quite honest, I don't remember what it was. I have to look. I'm not sure now. I'm at 1.2 volts, I believe, something like that. Yeah, a little bit over 1 volt. I don't remember what it was before. Well, let's do this wide open throttle. Let's see what kind of signal we're going to have now. Now I can see there. That's what I was thinking about. That's this initial gulp of air. You know, this signal should be higher, so it is right now. So there's still a little bit of harsh in there, but I think that's normal. I mean, it runs okay now. Now this one is, let's see, this is a much better signal. So okay, isn't that crazy or what? So okay. I think that's this is fixed after like 3 hours, 4 hours of diagnostics. Well, okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am very, very happy that I could, you know, find out the issue. And again, I mean, this was a really tough one. I mean, I could not, you know, this whole time when I'm adding the extra fuel, you know, I'm thinking maybe a low fuel pressure, you know, some crazy stuff. Maybe I was thinking even that one of the fuel injectors is not spraying the fuel. This being a 4-cylinder, you know, I'm thinking maybe, you know, that could, you know, it's probably going to be a no start because of that. And now I have to check also my air filter and all that, make sure that it's good and sealed so I got no more debris stuck in the mass airflow sensor. But I have to say that Verus, I mean, the snap-on really saved me. I mean, it just said if there, I mean, I would check mass airflow sensor most likely, but they kind of gave me a good direction to, you know, I guess this is kind of common. I guess somebody else had this same problem, so that was it. Runs like a charm. So I don't know what else to say. I mean, it was a really tough one. I mean, it's just a little thing that threw me off the loop completely. The whole time as I'm adding the fuel, I'm thinking about fuel delivery problem. Don't have a Schrader valve to check my fuel pressure. I was actually very lucky that I could access my fuel module from my rear seat, because I would honestly call the new fuel pump. I mean, even though I had a good amperage on it, I could not check my fuel pressure. And last night I was, you know, all I did, I disconnect my fuel line and just connected hose to my fuel pump and to my fuel pressure gauge, and I was reading the good fuel pressure. So this was fun. Alright guys, I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, and see you next time. Thank you. Alright, bonus footage guys. I think this was the problem all along. The air filter did not seal correctly, and I had debris, you know, getting into the see that I get some debris down at the bottom of the air intake, air filter housing. But yeah, this is what I got to get a new air filter. This guy was not sealed correctly. So okay, though, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye. Sorry guys, I'm back again. I just want to show you guys what the deal was. You see this lip here, and when you're putting the air filters in these cars, and make sure that the edge of your air filter is actually right in here in this groove, because this one was pushed inside and it did not seal. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So very important, follow your groove and make sure your air filter is right there. The air filter is seated correctly, so it's like this side as well. So that's the way it's supposed to be, right there. So make sure when you're changing the filters on these things that they are seated correctly. So let's see if I can get a good shot. There you go. It's kind of hard. There you go, right there. See that? There you go, good. So make sure. But what happened to me, the filter was messed up. It was not in where it needs to be, and it was letting all the debris getting into my intake, in my mass airflow sensor. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.